Everybody, welcome to the 9 at 9 show this morning. I could not be more pleased to have my friend Dan Henry on the show. And I'm super excited to have Dan on the show because actually, Dan, I don't know if you know this, I've followed Dan for forever, like 4 years ago.
I did not know that.
Facebook ads for entrepreneurs course. We like the name changed even somewhere in the midst of that.
Yeah.
So
that's because I got a letter from Facebook.
Okay, that said no more ads. Yes. Oh, funnels and ads for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, because they don't like you to use the name. Yeah.
Exactly. So I bought the original iteration of that, stayed through the name change, and then it's been amazing to follow him. Absolutely kill it in the online course space. We shared the stage at Funnel Hacking Live 2020. And I think he and I don't know if we could have gone more different directions with our speeches at Funnel Hacking Live. I had like 348 slides to get through in 28 minutes, and he had 0. He was just like, listen, give me a pen and I'm fine. And but I love that about you, Dan. I think you are a man where it's like even in our conversation before, you're like, I don't need the frills. Just like, I don't care about exposure or branding. Like, I loved it. You were just like, give me the sales. Let's just play the game. So I'm super excited to have you on. You just came out with an amazing book that I was super privileged to get kind of an advanced copy of at Funnel Hacking Live. Yep. And literally, I would love for you to just be the truest version of Dan Henry, because I've started reading this book. I've followed you for forever. I know you're the real deal. And I think that there's a lot of people that are like, who has I'm busy. I don't have time to read a book. Like, I don't have time to read.
You do right now.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm so excited to have you come on. And I hope that people by the end of the next 8 minutes are like, holy crap. I need to read this book, and I need to read this book right now. That's what I know about it. But tell people a little bit about this book, how it came to be, and why they need it in their lives.
All right. Well, first, let me just show you that the book, I designed it. It's extraordinarily easy to read. I did it like a copywriter. You can read this book in an hour and a half in one sitting. That said, the reason I wrote this book is because, years ago, somebody paid me $100 to teach them how to use their audio recording software. And it was the easiest money I ever made, because I just taught somebody else something that I knew, and I wasn't even an expert in it. I just knew more than them. And so I always kept that in my head, and I never could figure it out until years later. And I tried everything I could in entrepreneurship, and things got so bad at one point that I had to sell water bottles on the side of the road for $1 to try to help pay my electric. And then I got hit with a $250,000 back tax bill. It was just going real bad. And eventually I learned how to sell my knowledge, my advice online. And that comes in the form of online courses, membership sites, coaching, masterminds. But the same process is the same for selling things like agency services or done for you. It's the same process. And I was able to grow it into an 8-figure company. We sold over $12 million of my own online educational programs. I took that exact process, the journey, everything that worked, didn't work. I pumped it and put it into this book. And this would be the manual I would hand myself if I went back in time and said, here's how to do it faster. So that's what's in this book.
I love it. Okay. And so maybe help us to understand, because I think there are a lot of people online that are like, how to build a company, blah, 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 blah. Here's how you make money online. Help us to understand why people, in all the noise of all the things, why this method, why this path that you're presenting rather than all of these others that people are trying to get loud about?
Well, I mean, put it this way. If you know something that somebody else wants to know, right? How much does that really cost in raw materials? Nothing. If you make a program once, if you make a curriculum once, you're done. The only costs you have are advertising and stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas everybody else, they have to pay for goods. If you're in e-com, you got to pay for goods. If you sell done for you, you have to do the work. Now, here's a great thing about done for you is that the same techniques and processes that I teach in this book can be used to sell, especially if you charge a premium price, done for you services, like done for you funnels and whatnot like that. And this book will teach you how to charge more for them. Plus, here's a great thing. Let's say that you have a client and you want to charge them, $10,000 to build a funnel. And they're just like, well, I don't want to pay $10,000. Can you just teach me how to do it? I know people that have agencies that, they make a ton of extra money by downselling them an educational product to do it yourself rather than, and as well, on the flip side, they may come to that person that they want to buy an educational program. And then they go, well, could you just do it for me? And boom. Now instead of paying $2,000 for a course, they're paying you $20,000 to do it for them. And so they do work hand in hand. But the same methods in this book that's used to sell coaching, masterminds, online courses can be used to sell software. They can be used to sell agency services, high ticket, done for you, done with you, all of that. And so, if you want to learn the things that I learned from growing from 0 to 8 figures, the best of it, that's in this book. You need this book.
I love it. And I think how cool, I think there are a lot of people that are like, hey, follow my thing. But for you to say hey, I literally went from 0. I love your origin story. Hey, I was selling water bottles on the side of a freaking road and scaling that to 8 figures. I think that alone is so cool. And I think for me, why I'm so excited to share you with my audience is because I've been able to see for the last 4 or 5 years versions of that, right? I remember you at Funnel Hacking Live 2017 with your rabbit ear hat. I watched that. I watched kind of this evolution of Dan Henry in terms of selling courses, the changing of the names. You kind of became the Facebook ads guy, and then you kind of pivoted out to this digital marketing guy. I've seen you speak at a ton of different places, at Dana Derrick's event, and then sharing the stage with you at Funnel Hacking Live. I think that again is one of the reasons I'm most excited is because it's not just hey, this is my friend that I met a month ago at Funnel Hacking Live.
Wow.
For me, I'm I literally in the least creepy way have been stalking this dude for 4 or 5 years, and I've seen the iterations of this, and I've live, watching it live. And so I even think for me as somebody who's been studying and watching your journey to have it wrapped up, how many pages is it again?
It's about 200 pages. It's it's 200 pages. Yep.
Yeah.
I am brief, to the point, no fluff. I hate fluff.
Oh, and I love it. Even your speech at Funnel Hacking Live, you're literally, I love when you were just focus, just actually do the crap, just focus and do the actual thing. And so for me, to have these last 5 years of me watching you condensed into this 200-page, easily digestible thing where it's hey, this is actually what happened. For me alone, I'm that is worth all the time in the world. And then as somebody that has this community of people that not only sell their own products, but primarily are selling high ticket stuff. I mean, everybody is there are so many advantages to having an agency, but one of the things that I love that you just talked about, if you're gonna play the agency game to expand your revenue or income, you either need to grow your team so you create more time, or just charge more money so you can do more with less time. And I think what you teach in this book helps to do both. And anyway, I'm just I'm absolutely thrilled, again, personally, to see the condensed version and then to share this with my humans. But okay, we're about coming up on 9 minutes. So guys, I'm just going to say this, care about you. But again, as somebody who's followed this man for the last 5 years, you're actually dumb if you don't carve out an hour and a half of your time to read this. And he's not kidding when he says it's so easily digestible. And I really do think one of your superpowers is you're just a non-fluff kind of guy. It's just listen to me and I'll tell you the answers. And you have 200 pages of answers in a blueprint. So how can people get this book? Where do we need to go? What are the next steps? How can we make it happen?
So let me give you one quick final pitch on why you should have this book.
I love it.
So we live in a world where it's socially acceptable to spend $100,000 on college, get in debt, and we wait 4 years to get a $50,000 a year job, but likely we'll end up working at Chili's. Yes. That's not okay. Yeah. There are millions of people out there that have knowledge that can help other people's lives, even in a small way. And if our formal education system will not raise the bar, then we're going to do it ourselves. Mm-hmm. And if you want to profit from your knowledge and do your part to help change the world, you need this book. And just to give you some no fluff here, if you remember, Catherine, you remember back way when I really first started coming up and I made that $100,000 in 10 days.
Yes.
And everybody made a big deal about it. And I remember Julie making a big deal about it.
Yep.
And the whole course of that was about 30 days because I did have some prep time. In this book, I have my 30 days to 100K blueprint, step by step, day by day in this book. And that is the thing that will make you the least amount of money in this book. Okay. Because what comes after that is how to scale, how to do all that. It's all in this book. And I really wanted to over deliver with it. So if you want this book, you can go to digitalmillionairesecrets.com. It's free. I've paid for the actual book. You just pay the postman and we'll ship it right out to you. We ship worldwide.
I love it. Dan, thank you for coming on this show to teach us about this book. Thanks for being loud about your journey for the last 5 years. So it's been awesome for me to watch it. And thanks for being so generous with sharing this. I think, I just know from what I've read already, it's gonna change. It's gonna change a lot of things in the industry, and I'm really excited for
thank you, Catherine. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much for being on the show, guys. digitalmillionairesecrets.com. It's literally free. All you have to do is pay shipping and handling. And if the $100,000 in 30 days pitch, if that pitch isn't good enough for you, then like, what are you even doing on this channel? Just like hop off. Dan, thank you so much for your time. digitalmillionairesecrets.com, and we'll see you guys in the next version at 9 at 9. Bye.